यत्रैव पशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभू कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति शिखरा यस्मात् आनन्दसाम्बरे वनो सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakaran, the last part, and the second half, last half of last part, and 28th chapter. In that we were discussing about all the roots of, you see, our visible world, how it is, and what are the root causes of whatever names, forms or actions we do, whatever we see as our visible world. So we found out we do actions and get some results. Who is the giver of the result? Who is the controller of all these actions? He is called the Daiv, means the, we can say Daiv, the fate or the luck, which is controlled by the nature, and that is we know as God, or Daiv means the nature or luck or fate. All these mean Daiv. So we get the result, I enjoy it, and that's how we are ever engaged in doing actions. Nobody can remain in this form for a second, for a moment, without doing any actions. Actions means the movement or the life itself, and no being can remain without doing any movement, actions, or any progress, or we can say any change. Without doing any change, nobody can stay stable. No being, it is impossible. And that's how the beings are formed. So, all the beings are bound to do action somehow or other, forced by the nature, and they get the result of it. And the giver of the decider of the result of our actions is somewhere unseen, which is the the principle of the highest principle, secret principle of the nature which decides the result of all our actions. In this way, he is the Supremo. Now, what is the cause for him? What is the root of him? What for he is there? So the root cause is karma or action. Because action is there, so he has to be there to give the result of the actions. If an examiner is there, naturally, without examination, without question paper or answer paper, there is no possibility, no need of any examiner. Examiner is required only when examination is done. Examination means answer of the questions. That means whatever you have done in your school, college, classes, or anywhere in any field of your life, you have to give your test or you have to appear your exam. Then the examiner will grant you some marks, whatever you have learnt. In this way, this world is, that means our world means birth and death, the cycle of birth and death. Birth means having a body, physical body, and when its time is over, or the scheme, whatever was there to project here, when the scheme is over, then the body has to drop off. That means death you have to meet, and then another project. So for that another body. So this body and decay of the body and getting another new body, this cycle goes on. So the question comes, what happens between two physical bodies? In between, the soul, the being, or the soul, we say, soul means the central aspect of it. We call it self also. So self has got two bodies now. One is physical body, by which we do all our physical actions, and another body remains in this gross body as a subtle body, which remains even though the gross body decays, gets destroyed after the project is over. So this subtle body remains in subtler form in between the two gross bodies. In this way, gross, subtle, that we call birth and death. This cycle goes on. This is due to karma actions and result of it. So karma action is the root cause of the fate, your luck, or the examiner. What is the root cause of action? How the actions are done? So the root is found. The doer should be there, then something can be done. So doer, a person, a being should be there who is doing the actions, performer. So the doer as a person should be there. So that is the cause for root cause of karma actions. And what is that doer? How is doer? What is the root cause of it? We saw the mind. Without the mind, that means fourfold mind. It is not only mind, gross mind, fourfold mind. Fourfold mind, that means mind, intellect, ego, and subconscious mind. All these are there who make the person do the action. Without them, no action is being done. So who is the root cause of this fourfold mind? So it is said, the chitta means subconscious mind, means it is a vibratory system, or every word, every moment it is trying to emanate, project out some memories or impressions which has to multiply. That is the work of the chitta, subconscious mind. And that's how all these vibrations or impressions, they get multiplied in the form of actions and reactions. So what is the cause for it? So vibration means it is a unstable or imbalanced state. So the cause of unstable state is the stability, or the balanced state, which is never imbalanced, and that is the cause for this vibratory system which is known as mind, fourfold mind, and the doer, and of course while doing, it needs many instruments. They are the senses or the body or the energy from prana, all these are there. In short, we are discussing all these root causes. So now, the stability is known as the absolute truth, where we see all these changes as imbalanced state. This changes or imbalanced state is known as the nature. And this nature creates this person or the being who does actions, and thereby the nature is seen as a continuous process of changing phenomena. So we were discussing yesterday we were discussing the example what is the difference between the doer and done action. What is the difference? Of course, the whole world is seen in triads. The person who is doing, the doer, and doing process, which is known as the action, and whatever is the done object or the subject, whatever is done, the result of action. So three, doer, doing and done. In this way the whole world is seen everywhere. So what we are discussing, what is the difference between the doer and the process of doing? What is the difference? This is called triad. One is doer and doing process, that the action, and the result of your action. Something is done. Suppose eater, I am eating person, I am the doer, I eat. Eating is a process, and then eaten is the food. Similarly, seer, person sees, seeing is the process, action, and seen some object. In this way, the whole world is under these triads. Now, what is the difference between doer and doing action? What is the difference? There is difference. That's how we make all these three different aspects we see. Really speaking, there is no difference. If we see from different point of view, from different angles, we see it to be different from each other. But if we see differently, there will be a gap between the doer and doing process. So that gap, that juncture, is nothing other than these two. There is nothing else other than these two, either the action or the doer of the action. Isn't it? Of course, we see the gap. The gap is there. So, we have to accept the doer is stable at the time of that gap, and then it starts the action. In between, the doer is there. Say, if I see some object, I am the seer. How the seeing process occurs, if we analyze the perception theory, there will be some vibratory system in the subconscious mind. So those impressions or memories, they vibrate, they become unstable, and they express themselves and express them. They are expressed through our senses of knowledge, either eyes, ears, or touch, skin, or smell, nose, or taste, tongue. All these five ways of perception, and these five actions start when these vibrations start vibrating, and it goes out, those vibrations which otherwise we name as the bhavanas, thoughts, thought process. So thoughts go out of the body through the particular senses, according to its nature. If it is thought of a form, it has to go through eyes and contact with a form. That contact, connecting process is called action. And some object will be there. If the vibrations are not, thoughts are not objected or stopped or disturbed, they will go on continuing. They will go on till eternity. This depends upon the theory of physics also. The oscillation of pendulum. If some action is done, a momentum is given, and that momentum is never stopped by any objects. If it is not interrupted, that momentum will go on forever and ever. It will never return or never divert. It will go straight till eternity. That is applicable in the light also. The ray of light also travels in the same way. If it is obstructed, it has to change the direction. If it is not obstructed, it will go on straight till eternity. It will go on. Similarly, the thought waves, but generally these thought waves, they are obstructed by their particular objects because of their nature. So thoughts of form, they go out of eyes to be obstructed by a form, and then it comes back to the source, that is subconscious mind, in the same way it had come here. So this process is known as our perception. It brings some information, and those informations are collected in the subconscious mind. That is called understanding or seeing or touching or hearing. This is how we do actions. This process is called action. Of course, this is action by the senses of knowledge, and there are other senses also, 5 senses of action also is there, hands, legs, etc. So, vibratory system is known as the action. When we move our hand, then only we can do something. Movement is called action. Movement means vibration. So in this way, if we analyze what happens all through, that momentum is there, though the vibrations are working, the momentum is there in all the vibrations. So, the chitta, subconscious mind, who is known as ego also, who is known later as the person. Without ego there is no person. That is a part of mind which pervades the whole body as I. That is called the ego. And that ego is present all through. Ego is never stable. It always goes on changing. So this changing process is known as action. So if it is always present, so doer and doing process, there is no difference. Came to the point. In between doer and doing process, there is no gap actually. But from some angle we see the gap, because there will be gap between every two. There has to be, or else they cannot be two. They have to be one only. There is no gap in one, there is gap in two. So if we see the doer and doing process, then there should be, there ought to be some gap. So who is there in the, what is there in the gap? If we analyze it in an analytical process, we find the doer is continued. Doer does the work, all through he has to be present. And the action means contact with the objects, other objects than the body, than I. I have contacted with the my. My means whatever I see, whatever I have relation, that is my, because I perceive it by my senses. So, without contact we cannot observe or perceive the object. So contact means there is oneness. So, we can say without any hesitation that doer, done and doing, all three are one. For example, if I see my hand, what do you see? How do you analyze it? I means my eyes. The eyes see the hand. If I is the body, then body sees the hand by the body. Body sees the body by the body. Isn't it? Body sees the body by the body, by the help of body. Eyes are body, within the body. So part of the body, it is called body. Hand is the body. If body sees the hand by the eyes, we can say body sees the body by the body. Just as we say our democratic government, it is by the people, of the people, from the people, for the people, in the people, everything. People, of the people. So similarly here the triad is, if analyzed properly from one angle, from ultimate angle, there is no difference. It is one and the same. We see the difference by you see, by faulty vision. Our angle of vision changes, that's how we see the difference between the three. But ultimately we see no difference. The doer is done and doing. So, what happens now? Where we reached after all these analysis? Just as the bubbles or the waves look different from the water from one angle. It is different from the water. because we see the wave in a form different than the whole total water surface. That's how we see the difference as a, between the wave and the water as different from each other. Wave is wave. When we see the wave, we don't see the water. That's how one-sided vision or faulty vision. It is not analytical, correct vision. Water is always present in the wave. Wave is nothing but a vibration, and it goes on. Wave cannot be stable. When water becomes unstable, it is known as vibration and it is known as a wave. So is there any difference between wave and the water? Just as from one angle there is no difference, from other angle, from defective eyesight angle, we see there is a difference. Similarly, in every triads we see, the whole world is only triads, and in these triads there is, from ultimate point of view, there is no difference. It is one and the same. So in the end we have to say there is no world because there is no triad. In the end, what do you conclude? There is no world, only the truth remains. Only one all-pervading, homogeneous consciousness which sees itself in different ways. Just as I see my hand, just as water sees its waves and bubbles and the whirlpools or so on, it is not other than the water. Similarly, when I see my hands or nails or fingers or my legs or my body, it is not other than myself. All the time I am always present, continuously. So similarly, when we see our whole world, which is within the hold of triads, or we can say names and forms. Forms, they become the seer and they become the seen. And contact between two objects becomes the process. So in this way, when we analyze, there is no world, only the absolute one, homogeneous consciousness which is all-pervading, eternal, always present, is there is no world. And that will be, if at all you say the world, that will be the absolute causeless cause which causes all these misunderstandings. When it is not seen, it is seen as the world. How? Other example. When I see my hand, I don't see my body. I forget my body, then only I see my hand. Two things we cannot see at a time. Of course, you might have heard, the yogis, they do miracle. They can see, they can do 8 actions 10 actions, 20 actions, 100 actions at a time simultaneously. That is different. That is, if chance comes, we can discuss how do they see, how do they act at a time. Not only they act at a time in 100 ways, but they become 100 different identities at a time without losing their original personality. If you can understand, now at present time, an original draft can be photostated in hundreds and thousands. We can take picture of it. We can take Xerox copy of it, thousands, as many as you like. But the original is never destroyed, never affected. Similarly, this absolute truth which is all-pervading, which is original, which is cause for all the many's, which creates the difference. Of course, we can see the difference between two Xerox copies. But from ultimate point of view, can you accept there is difference between two copies? The matter is the same, size is the same of the paper, everything is same. So how can you say there is difference? But yet we see the difference. So always two angles of vision. One is defective, relative angle. We see two. If we see two, there will be difference. If we see one in two or two in one, then there is no difference. No possibility of difference. This way, when we analyze, the world looks like many different objects from each other, or different names, different forms, but ultimately it is manyness of one only. That is what we have seen in the beginning. Bahusyam prajayeya, the saying of the Vedas. Let me be many. This sankalp, this thought appeared as it were, though it is not there anyhow. It appeared as it were in the absolute, let me be many. Let me see myself as many. Just as we get up from deep sleep and we see our body because of body feeling I am, so in a fraction of second you feel your body, that means you see your body. That is how and when you see the body, you don't see the whole total body at a time. You see your hands, legs, face, or the parts of the body. Similarly, when you forget the whole total body and see the parts of it, the absolute forgets itself and sees its parts as different from itself. That is known as the world, different names and forms, as many, but within itself only. Just as my hand is in my body, it is not out of my body. So all these worlds, whatever we see, whatever our visible world around us, that is within the absolute, just as Whatever you see, your surroundings, or your planets, sub-planets, or your stars, whatever you see, everything is there within the sky, within the space. They cannot be out of it. Similarly, whatever you see as the creation or your world, everything is held by the Absolute, which is all-pervading, ever-present in every form. That is the truth, and all these changing phenomena is not the truth. It is because changing, so we cannot rely upon it. This cannot be called as truth. We cannot rely upon it. इसी रीति से देह दृष्टि चित्त की कल्पना करती है। देह और चित्त की दृष्टि जीव का कल्पना करती है और जीव दृष्टि देह चित्त का कल्पना करती है। यूँ सभी शुद्ध चैतन्य में ही विवर्ते हैं। जैसे देह आदि चित्त के हैं, वैसे ही चित्त भी देहादि का है, इसी तरह जीव भी है। इस परिस्थिति में परम ब्रह्म पद में द्वैत है ही कहाँ? कहाँ रह गया द्वैत? He gives the analytical view. You say, when I see the hand, what happens? Hand is seen. Hand also sees the body. It feels. It has existence in the body. It has to feel. I am in the body.
Can a dead body see its hand?
Pardon?
Can a dead body see its hand?
Achha. Dead body, why it is called dead body?
Soul is not there.
Soul is not there. So that is what we are discussing. The ego, the soul is not present there, but it has got another subtler body which can feel its parts within it. When it will be in the gross body, it will feel. When it is departed from the gross body, we call the dead body. And they cannot, because awareness is not there. Of course, awareness is there, but not in a acting position. Awareness cannot be absent because it is all-pervading. And prana also, the energy also is not absent there. But grossly we see energy, prana has left the body and the soul also has left the body. In a gross vision we see this. But if you see from the ultimate point of view, neither there is any body, nor anybody has died, nor there is any motion, nor the dead body has gone somewhere, or remaining in the subtler realms. There is no gross, there is no subtle, nor subtler, nor subtlemost, no comparison in one. In two only we can compare. Yes, Gurudev.
In dream?
Pardon?
In dream?
Similar, in dream, the chitta rests, it doesn't work. Instinctively it works, but knowingly, awareingly it doesn't work, it rests. So, it can identify afterwards when it gets up. When in the deep sleep, of course, instinctively, which is known, instinct is known as practice or habit. Because of habit, body works without the awareness of the mind or the soul. It works, but it is not aware of its actions. So when it gets aware, then he says, I am doing. So dead body and sleeping body, there is difference. Dead body is without, devoid of awareness forever. The gross body, without the dead body, it decomposes and it goes back to its source. That means from the air, water, fire, etc. And the soul, subtler body which was using this body as a house, it goes away, leaving this body, means this house, it goes to build another house. Just as we give up our old bungalows because of damage by the earthquake or other calamities, we destroy it and build some new house. Similarly, this subtle body, it goes on creating new bodies when the old bodies are felt as useless. So in the dead body, of course, we can say grossly from an angle of our vision, we can say it doesn't feel the hand. But if we go on analyzing subtle in a subtle way, then there is no absence of anything anywhere. From ultimate point of view, everything is present everywhere. The energy cannot be absent, but it can be seen in different aspects or different, states. Just as the same electricity we can see as the fan, as the light, as the magnet, or as the puller or pressure or anything. So many forms it takes, so many aspects it takes, but basically it is only energy which is transferred and seen in different ways. So energy cannot be absent, but it can be seen in different forms. So energy is all-pervading and eternal. It cannot be absent. How? Just as long as the water will be there, liquidity cannot be differentiated from the water. It will be liquid only. Similarly, as long as the fire is there, its heat will be present with the fire. It cannot be differentiated. That heat is known as the nature and fire is the nature holder. Both are one and the same, but we see the difference because of our faulty vision. It is one and the energy holder and the energy, both are the same. There is no difference from ultimate point of view. From relative point of view, there is difference. Now we come to the सरदार नहीं आए, मैं क्या करूं? सरदार आएगा. आप जोक बोलेंगे? बोलो.
एक सिद्धार होता है अमेरिका के अंदर. सिद्धार, the comedy of Siddhars, the Khalsas. They organize a meeting over there कि हमें सबसे ज़्यादा जोक कौन बनाता है, सबसे ज़्यादा जोक कौन लिखता है, धीरे-धीरे है. तो वो मीटिंग करता है, सर्वे करता है, तो उनको पता लगता है कि हेनरी विलियम इज ए मैन समवेयर, वो सबसे ज़्यादा जोक लिखता है. उसका पूरा जत्था आता है यूएस, न्यूयॉर्क, टेक्सास के अंदर. इन टेक्सास इट्स द मोस्ट क्रिमिनल सिटी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, शिकागो. So what happened? वो बोलता है यार तुम्हें सब कुछ होता है, कॉमन सेंस नहीं होता है. तो वो पूछते हैं कॉमन सेंस क्यों होता है? वो कहते हैं कॉमन सेंस ये होता है कि जैसे मेरा नाम हेनरी विलियम, मेरी बीवी का नाम मिस विलियम, मेरे बेटे का नाम हैरी, मेरी बेटी का नाम मिस हैरी. तो what happened सर, जो है वो समझ लेते हैं कि तुम समझिए कॉमन सेंस क्या होता है. वो इंडिया आता है, जवाहर साहब जाता है, अंदर साहब जाता है, और वो साड़ी को डालेगा तो खुदा ही. तो वहाँ आके वो मीटिंग करता है कि ऐसा है सर कि जो है ऑल आर है ओवर हियर, और जो है कि जो है हमें कॉमन सेंस नहीं होता है, हमसे हमारे वो जो ज़्यादा बनते हैं. तो वो बोलता है कि कॉमन सेंस क्या होता है. बोलता है कि मेरा नाम है सरदार महेंद्र सिंह, मेरी बीवी का नाम महेंद्र कौर, मेरे बेटे का नाम सतिंदर सिंह, मेरी बेटी का नाम सतिंदर कौर. तो बताओ चौथा कौन बचा? तो पूरी मीटिंग बनाती है. वो बोलता है कि वो चौथा कौन बचा? जो चौथा मैं बचा, विलियम. कॉमन सेंस ये है. तो कहना चाहिए.
Yes, we are discussing from ultimate point of view there is no difference and there cannot be any difference. Just as we see the energy is all pervading, ever present, it cannot be absent. Similarly, the energy holder, the absolute, where the energy is seen as movement or vibrations, it cannot be absent by any means. Just as we cannot differentiate our waves from the water, similarly this nature cannot be differentiated from the absolute truth, but its nature is nature, that means nature is to appear as different from it. Just as the nature of the wave, it looks like different from water, but it is not so. Similarly, this world is not different from the truth. It is in the truth, of the truth, by the truth, and from the truth, for the truth. It is the truth itself, seen differently. ब्रह्म दृष्टि से तो सब एक ही है. आत्म तत्व के ज्ञान से तो यह सब केवल शांत ब्रह्म स्वरूप ही है. दूसरा जगत आदि पदार्थ कुछ भी नहीं है और न कोई दूसरी भ्रांति ही है. एंड ही डिनाइज इवन he denies the misunderstanding or your ignorance. There is no ignorance. He goes to such extremity. There is no ignorance. Everybody is knowledge wise. Everybody knows everything. Knowledge is there. There is no ignorance. Ignorance is absence of knowledge. So there is no ignorance, just as the boy is not, he is absent in the class means boy is there. It is not seen by mistake in the class. It is somewhere else. But it is not absent. It is absent in a particular way, particular place, in a particular form. But the boy is present. Because of time, space and conditions, we feel, we know what is absence, or else presence is never absent. Presence cannot be absent. There is no absence in presence, just as there is no absence of water in the wave, just as there is no absence of body in the hand, just as there is no absence of seed or the sap in the tree. There is no absence of room in any part of the house, building. Everywhere room is there, building is there, present everywhere. Isn't it? Similarly, in every object we can find. You see, this is called table clock. Okay? Can you say clock is not present here? Can you say clock is absent here? Can you say clock is absent here? It is ever present everywhere in all conditions. Of course, you see the hands, minute hands, hour hands, second hands, some digits, some lines, and some frame, front side, back side. Everywhere the clock is there. So, from one angle of vision, ultimate angle of total vision of angle of vision, there is no absence of anything, so there is no world. And from defective point of angle of vision, defective angle of vision, there is world. There is manyness. Manyness is seen in oneness. Because you cannot see the one, so you see the many. Just as we saw the clock now. So the conclusion is, there is no misunderstanding, there is no ignorance, there is no absence of knowledge by any means, ultimately. Ultimately. If you can see it totally at a time by your total vision, there is no world. If you see it partially, because of your inability of vision or faulty vision or limited angle of vision, you see the world. The seers, great seers, the wise men, the realized souls, the great yogis, they see everything as one, many in one. Everywhere we see the same thing. Say a fruit, orange. Orange, we see full total orange as orange. But when we eat, we peel it, and it's a covering, it's the seeds, it's parts, many things we throw, which is not usable. We don't call it orange, relatively. But totally, orange is orange. Whole total is known as orange. Everywhere. Everywhere, in every sense. This is called the cover of the speck. So it has got inside, outside, upper part, inner part, and see many things. But totally it is one, and from different angles it looks different. Similarly, the book is one. So many, you see, pages are many. Page is one. Huh?
Rabindranath.
Lines are many. Line is one. Words are many. Word is one. Alphabets are many. In many in one in many is always there. It creates a misunderstanding or defective vision. As you like, you can see it. It depends upon you. But ultimately, we can say there is only one, there is no many. This is how we analyze and say there is no ignorance also. हे श्री राम जी, जैसे आकाश में अरण्य नहीं रहता, अथवा जैसे बालू में तेल नहीं रहता, या जैसे चंद्रबिंब में बिजली नहीं रहती, वैसे ही चित्त में देह आदि कुछ नहीं रहते. Vasistha ji explaining to Ramji, "Oh Ram, just as there is no trees in the sky, आकाश में कोई अरण्य, there is no forest in the sky, but we have to agree to it. But from different angle of vision, when the earth is in the sky, and earth holds all these plantations and forest, so everything is there in the sky." So generally, as per our vision, we don't see the forest in the sky, just as we don't have the forest in the sky from relative point of view. So also, athava, just as we cannot find oil from the sand or from the stone, we cannot get oil from it. Just as we cannot get electricity from the moon, of course we can get electricity from the sun, solar energy. We cannot get it from moon. चंद्रबिंब में बिजली नहीं होती, वैसे ही चित्त में देह आदि कुछ नहीं रहता है. Similarly, there is no body sense in the subconscious mind. No body. It has some faulty vision as body. What is body? What is your body? If we analyze, body means, literally body means a group, accumulation of many things, and this composition of so many things in one is known as body. Body literally means a group. That is called body. So body means whatever body it may be, human body or the social body or the government body or the animal body, any body. Body means a totality or a collective total. So this collective total is not in the center. Center means the causal body, that is aham, that is chitta, subconscious mind. There is no body in the subconscious mind. Actually, it is a vibratory system. And this vibratory system, because it cannot keep quiet, it has to go on vibrating. These vibrations when accumulate in different ways, in different time, different situations, in a particular way, this is called body. So it is a body means accumulation. Accumulation of what? Collection of what? You see, whatever we see, there is either there will be presence of the sky, the empty space. The space is there. Have you not empty space in your body? There is. And heat is there in your body. Without heat you will die. Is there no water in your body? Is there no air in your body? Is there no flesh in your body and bone? These are called 5 gross basic elements. Sky, air, which we know as prana or the vital energy, and heat as fire, and water. Without water, dehydration, you will die in a moment. You cannot sustain this body. So all these 5 elements, gross basic elements, are accumulated in a particular, composed in a particular way, and this body is formed. It is not really there in the subconscious mind, in your chitta. Because the chitta always thinks of it. It feels body is, I am the body. Say, see, if you analyze it with full awareness, practically, we say it is my body, isn't it? My body means, my house means, am I the house? My ashram means, am I the ashram? My cloth means, am I the cloth? I cannot identify myself as cloth. Cloth is different from me, and it belongs to me. It has got some closeness, it has got some contact, it has got some relationship with me, so I call it my body or my hand, my cloth. But when as we say it is my body, my head, isn't it? My nose, my eyes, my ears. That means you know, you are aware, all these doesn't belong to you. Of course they are with you, but you are not all these. आँख का नाक का सिरी This is my phone, iPhone also. Yes, and we behave in the same way. When, what is your name? Say Benu. When I call Benuji, can you come here? Who comes here? Does the name comes here? Does the name walks? Does the name eats? Who eats? I eat. But so, when we cautiously, awareingly, we say something from our heart of hearts, it is my body, all this belongs to me. But when we forget it, we behave as a I body. The body walks body, eats body, sees body, does all the actions. Whereas I claim I am the doer. Who are you then? Are you the body? In this way, when we analyze, we go on contemplating, discussing it, we find that there is no body, and the I, the identity, the ego is not this body. All this body, this composition of body belongs to me. I am not the body. So Gurudev used to sing always, nothing exists, nothing belongs to me. I am neither body nor mind, immortal self my mind. I am neither the body nor the mind. All these are my belonging. It has got relation with me, but I am not all these. Say, when you say my sister, do you mean you are the sister? Do you mean so? So my sister means different. I am different from my sister. So when you say my body, why don't you differentiate yourself from your body? This is how we have to contemplate. We have to think seriously. If we do so, then we find there is no body, there is nothing. Chitta, the I, has got not all these. हे श्री राम जी, जैसे आकाश में अरण्य नहीं रहता है, अथवा जैसे बालू में तेल नहीं रहता है, या जैसे चंद्रबिंब में बिजली नहीं रहता, जैसे चित्त में, वैसे ही चित्त में देह आदि कुछ नहीं रहते हैं। तुम्हारे पास कोई शरीर नाम का कोई चीज नहीं। समझे? Did you follow? You have nobody. Can you agree? You are bound to agree. You cannot say no as per our discussion. Logically, from all sense, with examples, we have discussed. Can you say no? Can you say there is a difference between the wave and the water? Water and wave. Wave. Can you say any difference is there? But we see the difference. We say, we name it differently. Wave is different from water, we behave as like this. So, this behavior means relative word is totally unreliable, it is not there. Not there. Hey, Satya Jnaniyo mein श्रेष्ठ Sri Ram Ji, he addresses Ram Ji to be realized soul and the greatest among the realized souls. Satya Jnaniyo mein sarvashresth Ram Ji, you are the chief, the greatest, the head of all these realized souls, wise men. You are the chief, you are the king of them. O Ram, यह जगत की भ्रांति अविद्यमानी है. This misunderstanding of this world is not at all there. No world. You cannot utter the word world. No, by no means. World, if at all you say world, its meaning is God. Its literal meaning is God. There is no other word than God. That's how it is said. Harireva Jagat Jagadeva Hari. This is the essence of whole Yoga Vasistha. Whole Yoga Vasistha. Harireva Jagat Jagadeva Hari. Hari to Jagat to nahi bhinna tanu. Iti jasya martihi paramartha gatihi sannaro bhavasagaram uddharati. There is no difference between the world and the God. And God and the world. The God is world is God. One who knows it perfectly well, from his heart of heart, it accepts. He is ever free, nothing can bind him in this world. He is ever free, he is ever happy. He cannot be worldly. No way he can be bound by the world. हे राम जी, अतः इससे आप भय मत कीजिए। यहाँ यही बात परम सत्य है, यह आप जानिए। So, my dear Ram, don't fear, don't be afraid of this world. We are afraid of this world. People of little analytical brain, they fear this world more than a lion or man-eater tiger. They fear more this world than a tiger, man-eater. Every moment we are suffering, but we have so much been habituated to take the pain as pleasure. We don't care for the sufferings. We take it easily, isn't it? If the child passes urine or stool in the lap of the mother, can the mother throw the child away? Because of love, because of attachment, because of habit, it is my child. Similarly, this world and our belongings, though it gives us pain every moment, वैराग्य सतक पढ़ना चाहिए। वैराग्य का सब we should go through the scriptures described by different saints and sages. You see, they describe on dispassion. If you just analyze a little, see how much difficulties we face while earning little money, how much we toil hard to get a little money, and to how much difficult it is to save it, protect it from thieves, from children, from our friends. We have to hide it. So difficult to earn it, so difficult to hide it, protect it, and when we spend it, how much you feel? Or lost. All of my earnings, everything is gone now. I am bankrupt. Every moment, in every phase of money, earning it, keeping it, spending it, if it is stolen away, so Every moment, in every phase, it gives us trouble. But yet we cannot live without money. Why? How? Because we have been habituated to take the miseries as pleasures. That's how. We have been trained, been habituated. Habit is our life. But in reality, we have to see the truth. Reality is there is no world, you have nobody, you are alone, you are not this body, nor this mind. You are the absolute truth. There is no misunderstanding, there is no ignorance in you. You are the absolute knowledge. You are the absolute bliss. You cannot identify yourself with anything other than this. Cannot. You are the absolute presence. Sat Chit Anand, the truth absolute, the knowledge absolute, the bliss absolute. Other than this, you cannot be anything else. By no means. You cannot be unaware of it. You are always aware of it. But awareness is forgotten because of attachment with so-called useless objects, transitory objects, ever-changing objects, ever pain-giving, painful objects. We are associated with all these. That's how we are miserable. He awakes Ramji. Oh Ram, you are the greatest among the realized souls, and you cannot be other than the absolute truth. There is nobody, nothing else. You are absolute. स्पंदन के कारण ही संबित जगत की बीज हो जाती है और स्पंदन के अभाव से अबीज रूप हो जाती है। इसी के अंदर सूक्ष्म रूप से अंकुर श्री भी स्थित है, अतः वही बाहर निकलकर स्थूल अंकुर रूप हो जाती है। ये बड़ा मज़ेदार एक चीज़ बताया जिसको हम कल विचार करेंगे। वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट। ही सेज जस्ट एज द स्प्राउट, द अंकुर को क्या कहें, सीडलिंग इज हिडन इन द सीड। द टेंडेंसी और द पोटेंसी to project itself when activates, then it sprouts and then it expresses itself and then it is goes on changing itself, and that is, it is not really found in the seed, but relatively it is there. It is there. Or else where from it comes out. It is there in the form of potency. That potency is known as the energy, and it is known as unmanifested energy. Yes, मूल प्रकृति अव्यक्त, unexpressed or unmanifested. It is there. So, if you don't allow it to germinate, You are the potency itself, the holder of the potency. The seed is not different from the sprout, isn't it? The seed is the container, the holder. So, you are the ultimate, and you can do as you like. This world is your willpower. As you want to see it, so it appears before you. We shall discuss it tomorrow again. What happens when the seed germinates? What happens and why it is given as a simile to this world. The absolute is the seed. It looks like a seed. The primordial seed, where from all other seeds are generated, and all these trees as this world is rooted in that. How and what are all these? Of course, in 15th chapter of Gita we see the world is described as a tree and its root is above. That means the truth is its root. So, Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasisthate Om Shanti 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 Sadguru Bhagavan Ki Jai Satchidananda Bhagavan Ki Jai Sabda Brahma Ki Jai Saraswati Maharani Ki Jai Yoga Vasistha Bhagavan Ki Jai Hari Om